is a model of what a hard-working, conservative law enforcement district attorney looks like, which poses a contrast to some other district attorneys in the state of Wisconsin. Brad Schimel is a candidate for Attorney General. He would be a major asset to the Walker administration and to a Republican legislature. It's my honor to introduce to you Waukesha County District Attorney Brad Schimel. Here's an unenviable position. The last speaker started out by saying, "You heard from a lot of speakers tonight," and I still have to go. I think I'm going to try to get you whipped up a little bit here, because this is a race that a lot of people don't have on their radar, and I need you to help me put this on the radar of the people of the state of Wisconsin. How many of you are fans of the reforms that the legislature and the governor have been passing? Right? Well, how many of you can think back to the old Saturday morning cartoons when they used to have how a bill becomes a law on there? So how does this work? You have one house passes it, the other house passes it in the identical form, then the executive, the governor, signs it, and then they run and file a lawsuit in the Dane County Circuit Court, and it all gets bottled up, right? Well, whose job is it to make sure that that reform actually means something, that that reform actually gets on the books and the rubber hits the road? It's the Attorney General. I need you to help me get the message out to the people of Wisconsin that if these reforms are going to mean something, if we're going to become the Texas of the Midwest for our economy, we need these reforms to stick, and we got to have the best lawyers and the best arguments in the courts to make sure it works. Now, thank you. So what do most people think the Attorney General does? Well, wait a minute, let me back up for 1 second. You know, I've got 3 opponents on the Democrat side. One of them, I don't know who's the front runner. I can't tell which of them is going to run the most left for their base. We'll find out. Have a little fun watching, right? But what if it would be Dane County District Attorney Schimel Zahn? He was first in line to file a lawsuit against that 10. He thought that was his job as district attorney, to do that. You want that? Folks, we got to get this message out, right? Okay, the Attorney General role that most people recognize is the law enforcement side, the public safety side. Okay, let's go. We'll talk about that. You know, you can listen to my opponents. I've seen a little bit of what they're doing. They don't talk about their accomplishments. All of them claim to be experienced in public safety, but they're not talking about their accomplishments. They're talking about what they will do. Folks, I could talk for hours tonight about my accomplishments as an assistant district attorney and district attorney. I've got over 23 years as a frontline prosecutor. Take all 3 of those public servant experienced opponents of mine, all 3 of them, add them up, it's less than 20 years. I win this one hands down. So I'm not going to spend hours talking to you about my accomplishments, but I challenge you, if you hear them talking, listen to hear if they say anything about what they've done. It's about what I will do if I get elected Attorney General. Folks, I've walked this. There's a reason why when I ran for DA in 2006, the police chiefs and sheriff in Waukesha County and all the professional police associations, even the Milwaukee Police Association, endorsed my candidacy for district attorney because they knew I fight the tough fights. I've got over 150 jury trials under my belt. You're not going to find very many lawyers who can say that. And I fought tough fights, sexual assaults of children, homicides, drug conspiracies, you name it. I've done all these things. I know how to handle the public. I'm the experienced hand that can take care of Wisconsin's public safety team. But there's one other piece that I want you to go home all worked up about, the Attorney General's race. I got started with a question again. How many of you think the federal government is too big? Right? How many of you think that that attack dog has just slipped his leash altogether? All right. Well, we could talk all night about this, right? I want to talk about one example. How about when the National Labor Relations Board tried to stop Boeing from opening up a plant in South Carolina. They told Boeing, you can't do that because you're a union shop and South Carolina is a right-to-work state, so you can't do it. That'd be unfair. Well, what business does the federal government have, and this is President Obama's federal government doing this, what business do they have telling a private company where they can open up a plant? What business do they have telling the state of South Carolina what they can and can't do to bring jobs to the citizens of their state? They have no business doing that. Well, if they can do it to South Carolina, can they do it to us? Absolutely, right? We can't stand by and watch that happen. Well, who stopped the NLRB from stopping Boeing? Who got involved? Who did? Who saved the day? There's a group of Republican attorneys general from all around America who have been joining together, and they're suing the federal government quietly. You don't read headlines about this, but they have sued the EPA time and time again. They have sued the NLRB, the Department of Human Services, all of them, and have been successful in stopping the federal government from overreaching. I've read articles where they've referred to this group of Republican attorneys general as rock stars. I've been playing bass since I was in the 4th grade. I play in a classic rock band. We're taking a little time off right now because I have to be other places on Friday nights than playing in a tavern somewhere. However, this group of Republican attorneys general rock stars, they need a bass player in the band. And I'm ready to load up the trailer with the amps. We're going to get on board because this is the patriotic thing to do. To hold our federal government back to what the Founding Fathers intended. We have not been a constitutional republic for over 230 years because the federal government takes care of us, but because the federal government has been held at bay to let the states and the local governments and the citizens decide what's best for them. So I need your help to get this message out. I need your help to get the people of Wisconsin worked up about this race, so that I can raise the money I need to get my message up, so I can build the ground network to win this grassroots race. All I need to do is get that message out, and my opponents won't be able to touch me in this race, but it's a tough thing to get to the whole state. I need your help. Can I count on the Milwaukee County Republican Party, the second biggest source of Republican votes in the state of Wisconsin? Can I count on your help? Thank you very much. I'm going to keep it short so that you can all go home sometime tonight. Thank you very much for this opportunity. God bless you.